So today we're going to be checking your visual acuity and doing an eye exam, checking the muscles of the eye. So let me know if there's anything that just come through the course of the exam here. I'm just going to start by having you sit nice and neutral in the chair. I'm just going to be looking at your eyes, checking for any asymmetry of the eyes, looking at the eyelash to see if they curve outwards, looking at the lateral aspects of the eyebrows, see if there's any wisping of the lateral aspect of the eyebrows, and then checking the eyelids for any bruising, scarring, or discoloration, which all looks good. I'm going to have, let's see here, I'm going to have my pen light, and I'm just going to place my hand right underneath your eye. I'm going to depress the eyelid here, and shine light down, just have you look up, and shine light down at the conjunctiva. I'm looking at the conjunctiva to make sure it's nice and pink, and the sclera to make sure it's nice and white, which it is, no inflammation or swelling, so you're good there. I'm going to actually do that one more time here, and look at the cornea and the lens this time. So again, having you look up, I'm going to depress the eyelid a little bit, and looking to see if there's any scratching in the lens, any cataracts, anything like that. Again, looks nice and good. We're all good to go there. I'm going to be checking the lacrimal duct of the sac, so I'm just going to place a little bit of pressure right here next to your eyelid, just to see if there's any exudate that comes from the puncta, which is one of the drainage ducts of the eyelid. So I'm just going to place the pressure right there. Any pain with that?
No.
And on the side?
No.
Perfect. And no exudate comes up, so you're good to go there.
Perfect.
Now we're going to do a Perla test, which is checking for pupils are equal and reactive to light, the round, and then they accommodate. So I'm going to start with just having you sit nice and neutral. I'm just going to have you stare at this wall behind me here. And I'm just going to be looking at the pupils to see that they're both nice and round, both tracking in the same direction, and they both are the same size, which you are good to go. Now I'm going to place my hand right over the bridge of your nose here. I'm going to be shining a light just kind of across the eye to see if it accommodates to the light. So I'm going to flash my pen light here, and the pupils contract, and then I'm going to get on this side, and the pupils contract. And then I'm going to be doing the same thing on this side again. Then I'm going to do more direct lighting to see if the opposite pupil dilates, which it did on that side, and then again on this side, and they both accommodate correctly. So you're good to go there. Now we're going to check our accommodation. So again, having you look at the wall back here, I'm going to place my pen light just here in front of your eyes. I'm going to have you look from the wall to this pen light, and then back to the wall again, just checking to see if they constrict as you look closer and then dilate as you look further away. And they do, so you're good to go. Now we're going to be doing a corneal light and reflection test. I'm just going to shine the light right above your forehead here. I'm just going to have you again look at this wall, and then I'm just going to be checking to see if the light is reflected equally in the pupils, or if one is deviated to the side. So they both seem to track in the correct direction, so you're good to go. Next is an H pattern test. So I'm going to have you take a look at my pen light here. And I'm just going to be moving in an H pattern. So you can follow along, checking for any lid lag or nystagmus. You're good to go. And then come towards your eyes here. And they both track with each other. Now we're going to do a cover-uncover test, checking for eye alignment and balance test for cranial nerves 3, 4, and 6. So I'm just going to have you take hold of this card here and place it above your right eye, again looking at this wall, and then lower the paper. Perfect, and then put it over your left eye, and then lowering that paper again just to see if one eye deviates when one is covered, which they both don't, so muscle test is good for that. I'm checking the visual fields test for your peripheral vision. So I'm just going to stand behind you here for a second. And I'm going to be wiggling my fingers on the side of your face. As soon as you see them, just raise your hands.
Okay.
I'm checking the superior lateral, the lateral, and the inferior lateral. Perfect. So the muscle test is good. So now I'm going to move on to the fundoscopic exam. I'm actually going to look in your eye with my fundoscope. So I'm just going to get this adjusted here real quick. Make sure it's not too hard. All right. So I'm going to have you take a look at the wall behind me here. I'm just going to come about 15 degrees out from your nose here, checking for the red reflex. I'm just going to follow that in. looking at the arteries and then looking for the disc and optic cup. Both look good. And I'm just gonna swing on this side of you here. Again, coming 15 degrees obliquely. Following the red reflex in and looking for those arteries, the optic disc and the optic cup. And both look good. Alright. So now we're going to do a visual acuity test. We'd be using a Snelling eye chart that would be on the wall, but just for these purposes, we'll be using the smaller one, which will 14 inches away from your face here. So I'm going to, you would be wearing your contacts and glasses if you had them. And you'd be standing 20 feet away for this one, which will be 14 inches. So I'm going to have you take hold of this and cover your right eye. And I'm going to have you go ahead and read that the smallest line that you can. So that would probably be
6, 8, 2, 8, 7, 3.
Perfect. Okay, got more than 50%, so we'll go down one line.
I think the second one's 7, 2. That's all I got.
Sounds good. Okay. So you have your 20, 20 on that side, and then we'll have you slip to the other side. And then we'll have you start again with this line up here.
Alright, so 6, 8, 3, 2, 7, 9.
Nice. And then have you read this one.
Well, your fingers covering the one. Okay. 3, 7, 2. Fifth one is 4. The 2.
Nice. Yep. Got more than 50%. So again, 20, 20 on that side.
Nice.
Now again checking visual acuity and cranial nerve 2, and you got more than 50%. So you have 20, 20.